So an additional cognitive factor that gets mentioned in Module 29 is locus of control. And this is a really important one because it'll come up time and time again when we deal with personality in psychology as well. Julian Rotter is the psychologist who coined this phrase, locus of control. So in terms of locus of control, here's a definition of locus of control. And it's this idea of, I want you to think of events in our lives and the consequences of some of the events in our lives are the consequences of our actions. And locus of control is a tendency that people have. So it's a tendency to perceive either a sense of control, that what happens in my life is the result of the decisions I make, the effort I put into things or don't put into things. That would be an internal locus of control. So this is a general definition for locus of control, right? And for the people who feel like they do have control over events and the consequences in their daily lives, they would be said to have an internal locus of control. Some books will talk about this as the belief that one controls one's own fate. You can also be, it depends on the situation. So in different scenarios, one could have the same person could have an internal locus of control in scenario A, and in scenario B, that same individual can have an external locus of control. In an external locus of control, we do not believe that we have control over events and the consequences in our daily lives. I do not want to leave you the impression to think that this is solely the better way to be. Both have benefits and drawbacks depending upon the scenario. However, what Myers is trying to do is at the end of this chapter, he's trying to introduce you to additional factors beyond reinforcement in terms of operant conditioning that can influence learning, cognitive factors that can influence learning. And remember, Skinner didn't make any allowances for these. In terms of learning and health, those are the two big things. Learning and health. It does seem to be of benefit to the individual to have an internal locus of control. Learning seems to improve, and so do health outcomes. Now, I'm not going to go through all of this with you, but I simply want you to kind of go through this list. And remember, you can pause me at any time, and you can learn a little bit more in detail about some of the correlations such as health, okay, and confidence in daily life. This one is more correlated with depression and anxiety, but again, there are times when an external locus of control is completely appropriate to have. And this just gives you a quote that basically tries to summarize the definition of what the locus of control means. Okay, so again, we're dealing with health, learning, and motivational factors. Okay, so again, please put me on pause. You can go back like I just did here and look at this list and learn it in great detail, and then you can fast forward to this. Okay,